Subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and never miss an update from Latestly.
Hi guys, this is latestly.com. I'm Rajat Tripathi and I have with me the fabulous, the fantastic, the wonderful, the gorgeous Ratna Pathak Shah ma'am. And of course, we also have Nitya and Shardul, but my focus is on Ratna ma'am right now. First, I know. We also have the amazing Nitya, who is a very underrated director. I would say underrated because I love Baba Dekho. And also Shardul, who is a amazingly underrated actor. Of course, अगर आपने ईब आले ऊ नहीं देखी है तो please, it is re-releasing, please देखिए. We are going to be talking about the upcoming project Unpaused, which is an anthology film. Anthology मंजे 5-6 movies एक में होती है, तो इनका एक segment है चांद मुबारक, जिसके बारे में हम बात करेंगे. So guys, first of all, I want to ask you what made you pick say yes to Chand Mubarak. Let's begin with Nitya.
What made me pick Chand Mubarak? No, I picked yes. The anthology was offered to me by Aparna Purohit at Amazon and Swati, and I thought it was an exciting time to the idea was to talk about new beginnings with the lens of hope, and I thought it would be a really good time to do something like that with 5 directors. Obviously. It was whilst being in this pandemic, to get 5 different perspectives, I thought that would lend itself to great originality, also because we had no reference point to a time like this. So I thought that it'd be exciting to make to be part of making a short film that is that talks about these times that we live in. So yeah, that to me was.
And Ratna ma'am.
I was just dying to get back to work, basically. I was, I have to say, I'm not very thrilled with the idea of performing in online in the way so far that we have been doing, where the worst thing is that you actually have to look at yourself all the time while you're shooting, because you're shooting yourself a lot of the time. So you can see yourself as you are acting. And that feels really strange, I can tell you that. I mean, this is narcissism carried on to another level. So I was delighted to be out in the open working with another actor in the same space. Hallelujah. I really enjoyed that part.
Okay. And Shardul.
Yeah, same. I'd been home for almost 6 months, and this came along, and it was work, good work. So yeah, so one wanted to take it with both hands.
Okay. Of course, Shardul plays an auto driver in the anthology film. I think you must have put some research into the project. I want to ask you, Shardul, that ये auto वाले short distance क्यों नहीं लेते हैं? Please, मतलब the number of auto वाला who have said no to me is like so much that एक बार मुझे हाँ कहते तो मैं छोड़ के चला गया, कुछ तो गड़बड़ है ऑटो में. I can't go to in this.
यार मेरे एक्सपीरियंस में तो मैं जब बोलता हूँ उधर चले जाते हैं. तो तुम
I think don't like my style at all.
But yeah, I belong to Delhi, yaar. When I shifted to Bombay, I was like, ये तो heaven है. मैं घर से निकलता हूँ और मैं ऑटो में बैठ जाता हूँ और वो मीटर डाउन कर देते हैं और वो जगह ले जाते हैं. I was like, this is तो heaven. Like I don't have to ruin my mood ever. So ये मेरे लिए तो बहुत अच्छा है यार. मैं अब बहुत खुश रहता हूँ बॉम्बे के ऑटो रिक्शा ड्राइवर्स.
Okay, but how did you approach your character? If you could tell us something about that.
I have a little bit of a dikkat with the word character because the way character is said, I don't claim to understand कि ऑटो वाला का लाइफ क्या है और मैं बन जाऊं. वो नहीं, वो एक पर्सपेक्टिव है. एक बहुत अच्छे रफीक नाम के एक आदमी थे जो कि मुझे ऑटो सिखाते थे, तो मैं उनके साथ बहुत सारा समय इसलिए स्पेंड करता था क्योंकि कभी चाय पीने चले गए, बारिश हो गई तो वो बोलते थे नहीं अभी तुम सीख रहे हो, स्लिप कर जाओगे, तो आओ बैठते हैं, बगल में बैठते हैं, थोड़ा कोने में बैठते हैं. तो वो जुहू के थे तो मुझे बताते थे कि वो 30 साल से ऑटो चला रहे थे, तो मुझे बताते थे जुहू कैसे बना, वर्सोवा कैसे बना, और एंड इट्स अ वेरी डिफरेंट वर्ल्ड व्यू. तो जब वो नीचे से पता लगता है और वो ऐसे कॉन्स्पिरेसी थ्योरीज नहीं होती हैं कि अरे ये भाई थे और ये कर दिए, नहीं, मतलब इट्स अ वेरी रियल वर्ल्ड व्यू. So that gives you a lot about, and I don't know what it does materially. I think it'll take some time for me to understand that. But I think that is, if you can call that research, yeah, a period of 15, 16 days with Rafiq Bhai is what I spent learning from him. And he was nice enough to be on the shoot and always give me a thumbs up before I was going to start the auto. It was quite a thing, yeah. So I developed a thing with him. He gave me his number. I sometimes call him, यहाँ हूँ, आ जाओ. तो ऐसा वो सब चलता रहता है. It's nice.
Absolutely, absolutely. So by the way,
Yeah.
professionally मेरा अभी ना कोंकणा सेन शर्मा का फेस चल रहा है पेज 3 से. I'm like बहुत हो गया film journalism, and of course pandemic had a role to play in this. I want to ask you, how has the pandemic, the lockdown affected you, not emotionally and not professionally in the way that Made in Heaven got delayed, but professionally, how it changed you as a working professional, how it affected your artistic skills? Let's start with Nitya.
The pandemic.
The lockdown,
Uh,
staying with yourself, yeah.
to be honest, the pandemic is still on.
Yeah.
And I think Shardul and me had spoken about this. I said, I don't know. I don't know really how it's changed me yet. I think in years to come, maybe in the work I put out, maybe someone will notice that change. But I think I personally can't say that I have changed yet. I think you'll have to ask my family if I've become a how my character's changed much. But in terms of professionally, I don't know. I just feel like it has been a time for introspection, and I think that I always would like to introspect in life, but it did have an effect on me emotionally. It reminded me of the country I live in. It affected me. I remember taking my family and going to Alibag and driving, and on the side while we were in this car and filled with privilege, I remember just hordes and hordes of workers, migrant workers. Just, I mean, the fact that we have a term for them is awful, but just walking, and that I remember coming back and saying that it's it's I have seen this, and I have yet chosen to live in my castle, so to speak, and the world is becoming more and more insular. So that is what has right now really affected me, I think, a lot. And it's not something that only COVID has done. I think it's just existed. I think I just got some time to introspect a little more. That's about it. But I think changes professionally, I'm not sure what is. I did get to make this film, so yeah, that's.
Ratna, ma'am, did this have any effect on you as an artist?
Again, I don't know what kind of influence it has had on me. I just know that I have learned to be much more grateful and much less irritable about things not happening. Suddenly, one has got more perspective on life. Suddenly, one realizes that uh, you can completely be blindsided by an event like this, and you find that everything that you thought was going to be there forever has disappeared.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm still trying to assimilate all that this time has meant for me, and it will definitely reflect in my work as an actor. There's no doubt about that, and I hope it does, because that's what it's about, isn't it? As
Yeah.
actors, we do try and uh, crystallize what human experience tells us. So I'm quite certain that there will be a change. I don't know what it is as yet, though. And I'm sorry my frame has gone all funny.
That's okay. And
Is that
Shardul, yes.
It has just thrown difficult questions for me. I'll tell you a very little incident, and that sort of sums it up for me. So while once in Delhi, because whatever little time we would get to get groceries, me and my brother were in a car, and our house is right next to a main highway. Not next to, but close by, and you have to go through that to reach the grocery shop. There was a long line of people, and the road that we were coming on and we had to go take a left was being sort of blocked by this long line, 4 lanes strong, of people. And there was police there, almost lathi charging them so that this car could pass, which I was sitting in. And I was inside that car. Now, if I ask myself, do I want to be on that side? My definite answer is no. Did I get out and do something about it? No. I sat inside the car and waited. So it's just that, and in that moment, you just sit and wait and you just go like, that's really sad what is happening. But, these are difficult questions and they're not easy to answer for me. So as Nitya and Ratna ma'am was saying, that it'll take some time to process all of this while we are at it, and pandemic is not over. These are just some questions to live with, I guess. Yeah.
Of course, OTT is evolving, and हम लोग बहुत time से कह रहे हैं कि OTT is changing the world, OTT is changing the world. But during 2020, OTT really changed the world. It changed how we consume entertainment. Studios have announced that their 2021 entire roster will release simultaneously online, and like the way we consume entertainment is finally changing for I think for a very good time. What do you think will be the future of cinema in India? And will we continue going to theaters, or will OTT become the main source? What is happening right now in your mind, Nitya, ma'am?
I honestly, I'm desperate to go to a theater. And I would have gone, but I actually got COVID, so I couldn't go. But I am desperate. I'm desperate to watch plays again, and I'm desperate to watch movies in theaters again. As a filmmaker, I am thankful that we have many more platforms where we can tell many more stories. I worry about censorship coming, disturbing that sense of kind of liberty that we'd gotten. I don't know. Let's see what happens with that. But I'm also very conscious of the fact that that there is this trend right now that I'm feeling where everyone's like, oh, अब तो हम घर बैठ के पिक्चरें देखेंगे, अब तो हम घर बैठ के shows देखेंगे. I think it is imperative for people to have uh, collective human experiences. And I think that people will realize that. I think there are film lovers that will throng to the theaters, and I don't think that we should ever make a choice that OTT platforms are coming and that's the end of another platform. I think everything should coexist, and I will try my level best to make sure that I'm part of that coexistence. I think you're on mute. You're on mute.
Sorry, Ratna, ma'am. How about you?
Well, I'm very happy that theaters have opened in Mumbai. Theaters as in live theater. जिस तरह का काम मैं करती हूँ, जिस तरह के काम में मुझे बहुत मजा आता है. Prithvi Theatre has opened. We've been getting houseful shows every weekend. Houseful as in half capacity, but still those 100 people are turning up to watch plays. And usually when the first announcement is made, welcome back to Prithvi after 7 months, 8 months, whatever it is, there's a huge applause from the audience. So the desire to watch something along with a group of other people to share that collective experience, as Nitya was just mentioning, is alive and kicking. So, inshallah, that will only continue. And if you've noticed, no new form has actually wiped out the old form completely. Look at radio. Everyone thought after television, radio का तो खत्म, किस्सा ही खत्म हो गया. लेकिन radio is still around. From the time I started doing theatre, I was told that now with all these new fangled things, theatre तो खत्म ही हो जाएगा. लेकिन theatre भी माशाल्लाह जिंदा है, बिल्कुल. और नए नए लोग, यंग लोग आके नए नए तरह के नाटक करते हैं. So I'm hopeful. I don't think one platform wipes out another. Everyone can coexist. And in a country like India, with 1 point something billion people, we'll have an audience wherever we go.
And Shardul.
I'll wait and watch. I can't make predictions. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Nitya, you just said that you were suffering from COVID. How was that during the time that
That's fine.
unfolded? Okay.
I mean, if I had got it a bit earlier, I was wondering. I said if I had got it earlier before making Chand Mubarak, would my take on Chand Mubarak be different? But then I realized I actually answered myself that question, and I said no, it wouldn't be, because I think that the film that we have made is something that would stand true, whether it's pre-pandemic or post-pandemic. It has a commentary on life and the world, and its structures that are pretty much man-made. These structures are all man-made, and I think so yeah. So I'm fine, and I'm very lucky. I had a very mild version, and yeah, I'm back.
Okay, I'm so glad you're back.
And
Of
you know
course.
what? I have to say, isolation, because you have to quarantine, is a very interesting time. It is, you do get to, like, you don't have to step out of your room for anything. So first we were excited, like, initially COVID was like, oh, great. Now we don't have to, like, we can be in our bubble. And now if you get it, and inshallah, it's a mild version, then you can actually make use of that isolation.
Okay. So my last question to Nitya, Made in Heaven shooting was delayed. Where are we on that front right now? Because I'm a huge fan of season one and waiting for season two and cannot just wait anymore.
Inshallah, I think February is when we mid Feb or end Feb is when we start. Yeah.
Okay. So Made in Heaven fans, that's one update for you. And of course,
Mm.
please tune in to watch Unpaused on December 18th.
Yeah.
Right? Yes,
Yes,
December 18th
December
on
18th.
Prime. Thank you so much, Ratna ma'am, Shardul and Nitya for talking to me. It was lovely chatting up with you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.